Take the next 15 minutes and dive into the 7-day forecast and take a look at the tropics. First off, this is not something that we need to worry about. It's just more of a, wow, I find that very interesting. Unfortunately, in the western Pacific, there's the Philippines and there's Taiwan. This is a very powerful typhoon. The name typhoon, international dateline, western Pacific, they're typhoons, eastern Pacific, they're hurricanes, in the Atlantic they're hurricanes. So it's just location. They're no different from hurricanes. Very powerful earlier this morning. I believe it had winds of 185 miles an hour as it went right over this island north of the Philippines with winds of 185. Look at it, right over that island. Wind gusts probably around 225 miles an hour. It is weakening, thankfully, as it heads towards the coast of China. Looks like it'll go south of Hong Kong and over towards Zhejiang. Thank you. Coming up in the next day or so. Still very powerful typhoon or hurricane with winds of 145 miles an hour. But the good news is it is weakening, but still a very powerful typhoon. This is where this is why I'm showing it right there. Right there, just a very incredible sight to see. Otherwise, we don't have to worry about anything like that in the Northwest Gulf, I don't think, through the next 10, maybe 14 days. Clear skies out there now. Downtown Beaumont, almost 2 inches of rain earlier today, this afternoon. And here's our weather headlines. We expect scattered showers and storms coming up on Tuesday. It'll be a 30, maybe 40% coverage in the triangle. Otherwise, hot and humid. Could see heat indices tomorrow around 100 to 102. And then showers and thunderstorms are likely late Wednesday. We're probably talking after 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, from what I could tell, to Wednesday night as a weak cold front comes through. After the front comes through, that means that we will see lower humidity, cool mornings, and warm/hot afternoons with lots of sun. It'll make more sense here in just a minute. Otherwise, on your allergy report, it's all about ragweed today and moderate levels of mold on your allergy report today. Tree pollen and grass pollen have dropped. So we'll go with 30. It could be as much as a 40% coverage here in the triangle, and about 92 under partly cloudy to partly sunny skies. Modeling still too wet. It's going a 60% coverage. And then for the lakes area, I went 94 with maybe a 20% coverage. Light south winds. Let's look at modeling. Yeah, about a 40 to 50%. Way too cool tomorrow. I'm not buying that. It's going to be hotter than 85 degrees. So as far as the forecast goes, it looks like highs around 90 to the lower 90s coming up Tuesday and Wednesday. After the front comes through, look at that. Mid to upper 80s coming up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We may get 4 days as far as a break from the 90s. Could get back up to 90 by Monday. But again, this is due to clouds and a threat of a few showers in the morning, and then just drier air filtering on in. Looks like our best chance will come in on Wednesday. And then Thursday at 20% coverage will be mainly in the morning, and I don't think it's going to be heavy at all. In fact, dry weather expected Friday, Saturday, right on through the weekend. So here's what's going to happen. So we fast forward to tomorrow morning. We'll be watching the front up in the North Texas head our way, and it will likely generate numerous showers and thunderstorms through our area as we head on in to Wednesday night. Wednesday late and Wednesday night, with then a drier air mass filtering in our area as we head towards Wednesday. Rainfall amounts, ½ an inch, just over an inch, maybe 1.25 inches, with that front coming through as we go through Wednesday. Otherwise, a very impressive sea breeze across southeast Texas this afternoon. Now, in order, last week we had easterly winds. Do you remember that? You don't get good convergence. So when the winds, look at the clouds. They're coming almost perpendicular to the shape of the coastline. That causes lift. But then you also have to have not only the direction, but the right speed. If it's too fast, you're over sheared and you don't get showers and thunderstorms. If you're under sheared, you don't get the convergence. So a sweet spot is about 8 to 12 miles per hour at about 2,000 feet, and that really helps to produce sea breeze activity. And even overnight, I still think we could see some coastal showers here in the Triangle. I'll keep a 20% coverage, but a pretty active day, particularly in Jefferson and southern Orange counties, as it produced almost 4 inches in spots. Still some ongoing convection along the Sabine just south of Bon Weir and to the east of Kirbyville. And again, just some coastal showers, and that'll be the case coming up tonight. So about a 10 to 20% coverage coming up overnight and tomorrow morning. Otherwise, heaviest rains were in a band from just north of Port Arthur, around Mid-County, where they picked up 3 to 4 inches there, and a good 2 to 3 inches south Beaumont, and then back over towards less than 2 inches, but still 1 to 2 inches between China and Fannett and Hampshire, between I-10 and 90. Otherwise, a little, if anything, up in the lakes area. And as you can see, we've got plentiful moisture. Dew points are well into the 70s as we continue to see that southeast flow off the Gulf, keeping the moisture high, the winds keeping the moisture levels high across our areas. So we need drier air, and that's going to come in the shape of that cold front that we're expecting coming up. But you can see the sea breeze very evidently. It's almost like a front. That's, in fact, a sea breeze front is what we call it. That's it right there. You can see the line of clouds, and that's because the winds are almost perpendicular to the coastline, the shape of the coastline, helping to produce that sea breeze. Otherwise, very little activity in through central Texas. So again, we saw the highest coverage of rain over the state of Texas was in southeast Texas. That's why we're so green. That's why afternoon high temperatures don't get up into the triple digits all that often. They do, but not all that often. It's because of the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere. But again, when you have 5 feet of rain per year, this is the reason why, is because of an active sea breeze that we normally get. They don't get that. Do you realize between Beaumont and Houston gets a full foot less rainfall than we do here in Beaumont? Back over to Deweyville, they get 48 inches. And here in Beaumont, we get 60 inches. Just that little distance. The further you go on in through central Texas, rainfall amounts per year, yearly rainfall drops off very quickly. So again, that's why we're so green. That's why we don't get high temperatures very often in the triple digits. Move away from the coastline into central Texas, they see 100-degree readings a lot more because they have less moisture in the atmosphere. Otherwise, as you can see on water vapor, high pressure in through Old Mexico and into South Texas will actually expand into South Texas as we work on into tomorrow. So that could cut rain chances a bit. And again, lots of moisture is one of the reasons. Look how this is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Lots of it in through southeast Texas. Look at Waco. Look how dry it is compared to our area. So another reason why we saw the sea breeze. Lots of moisture, right wind direction and wind speed helping to create those sea breeze showers and storms. So tonight, we'll give it a 10 to 20% coverage overnight, particularly along the coastline, where we could see some nocturnal or early morning showers across southeast Texas. And depending on which model, it could be anywhere between a 20 to 30, maybe 40% coverage. So I don't think it's going to be widespread across southeast Texas tomorrow, but the best chances will be along the immediate coastline and in the I-10 corridor once again. So otherwise, I still think we could see high temperatures into the low to mid 90s across southeast Texas. And that is because we are going to watch high pressure temporarily build on into the area as a trough of low pressure pulls on in as we head towards Friday. But wait a second, you said the cold front's going to come in Wednesday night and Thursday morning. That's exactly right. Cold fronts are on the ground. We're talking at 18,000 feet. These troughs lag behind the surface features, so the front will already be off towards the east. It's slanted upwards as you go up into the atmosphere. In other words, the front may be here, but the trough is further back, if that makes sense. So again, the front may be So here's the trough right in through our area, but the cold front may be right over there. So the trough always lags behind the front. It pushes the front through our area because it is so much higher up in the atmosphere. Look at the nice ridge of high pressure as we head towards Friday. We like that. That's what you want to have this time of year, especially at the peak of hurricane season. Trough of low pressure, that closes, well, it's not like it's even open for business right now, but trough of low pressure moving through the Gulf, you can say that we are going to be closed for the next several days. Look at all the shear. Trough goes through, look at all that shear. High pressure tries to move in, but again, this is temporarily that, see high pressure there. Something trying to come out of the Caribbean will either go that way or off to the west underneath the high. So it's through the next 7 days. I don't expect anything through the next 10 days. Looking at both the European ensemble and the European AI ensemble, they show nothing across the northwest Gulf for the next 14 days. Now, could there be something over the eastern Gulf? Yes, but we don't live there, right? So we are closed for business certainly for the next 7 to 10 days, and really for the next 2 weeks. If you look at ensemble modeling, don't see anything. Caribbean, no clouds. Hard to make storms when you don't have clouds. Why? Sheer, dry air. Just not very hospitable for development. These two systems, not issues. This one, right? Okay, so we got Gabrielle, which is a Cat 4. We know we can cross that out. This one is going to do this, like Gabby. So we can cross this one out. That's not an issue. This one is going to get a little closer, but it also looks like it's also going to turn. So right now we are sitting awfully pretty, and there's an argument that the Western Gulf is done for the season. That can be argued. That would take us to the 6th of October. I'd like to get, just because we get to the 1st of October, I don't like to pronounce the season is over for the Western Gulf, because what happened? Jerry in '89, that was the 17th of October in 1989, and then Delta happened also in in 2020 in mid-October. So let's get through mid-October before we pronounce things. But it is certainly looking like at least through the first week of October that we don't see anything in the Western Gulf. Now, I'm not saying the Eastern Gulf is done. There could be something in the Eastern Gulf. I think it's a low possibility, but right now it doesn't matter for us, obviously. On the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas tomorrow, around 2 feet. We'll see south winds at 10 to 15 knots, water temperature 88. At Sabine Pass, high tides are at 4:23 a.m. and 5:36 p.m. So our forecast tonight, particularly in the Triangle, will keep a 10 to 20% coverage. The activity up in the lakes area pretty much done. Low to mid 70s there, mid to upper 70s here in the Triangle for low temperatures with light south to southeast winds. So rain chances anywhere between a 20 to 30, maybe 40% coverage. Highs lower, maybe mid 90s. Could see heat indices around 100 coming up tomorrow afternoon. And again, it looks like best chances will be along the I-10 corridor with highs in the lakes area low to mid 90s. And again, look at those heat indices. 100, 101, 102, certainly possible tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, we'll keep that 30% coverage. Partly sunny skies tomorrow. Wednesday becoming mostly